Hi, I'm Brent Conrad from Vivicon Productions, and welcome to the 8th tape in our series, The Business End of Video. If you're just getting into the video production business, or are seriously thinking about doing so, there are many things that you'll have to know and many decisions that you'll have to make. First, there are the common concerns that all video people share, such as, number 1, what types of video productions do I want to do? 2, what equipment am I going to need? 3, where will I get my customers? And 4, where will I operate my business from? In addition to those questions, you will have to think about many other things that are essential to operating a legitimate video business. In this video, we're going to go over a lot of information that will help you start your own video production business. If you already operate your own business, this tutorial will help you review and polish your business knowledge. The information in this video is divided into 6 categories. They are small business startup, financing and startup capital, record-keeping, contracts and forms, advertising and marketing, equipment, and piggyback opportunities. Let's start first with small business startup. Once you've decided to formally start your own business, you'll need to determine the form of business that you want. There are 3 basic legal forms of businesses, including sole proprietorship, partnership, or corporation. Each form has advantages and disadvantages. You'll have to choose the form that best suits your particular circumstances. These circumstances include your financial condition, the line of business that you're entering, the number of employees you plan to hire, the personal risk involved, and your personal tax situation. It's best to seek the advice of a lawyer and a certified public accountant before deciding on a business form. Here at Vivicon Productions, we're a sole proprietorship. Since it's just my wife and myself in the business, there was no real need for us to incorporate. One thing you may want to look into is the services of a certified public accountant. We have found that the CPA is a very necessary part of the business. He knows the tax laws and the loopholes and can advise you wisely and save your business and you a lot of money. Once you've chosen the business structure that is best for you, you'll have to find out what federal, state, and local regulations are for the type of business that you're entering into. Local state regulations will vary, but everyone starting a business will have to contact the IRS for an employer's identification number and a going into business tax kit. Even if you'll be the business's only employee, you must get this ID number. In most states, if your business isn't a corporation and your full name isn't used in the name of the business, you'll need to register a fictitious name. You'll also have to file for a sales and tax number, and for all jobs or sales that you make in your state, you'll need to charge your customers the appropriate sales tax. Of course, some businesses are nonprofit and therefore tax exempt. The taxes that you collect will have to be filed quarterly to your State Department of Revenue. As far as local filing and regulations, a business license from your city, town, or county may be necessary. You can find the telephone numbers of these governing organizations in the government listings in your local telephone directory. There are several organizations that are geared to help new businesses. You should check with your local Chamber of Commerce to see what services they can offer you. Several chamber offices offer special programs to help you start your business and other programs to help you network with other businesses and people in your area. An excellent organization for helping new businesses is the Small Business Administration. There's probably a local office near you. Many of the small business development centers are located on college campuses. Your Chamber of Commerce will know if there's one in your area. If not, you can contact the United States Small Business Administration at P.O. Box 15434, Fort Worth, Texas 76119. In addition to professional consultation and a large selection of printed publications, the staff at the SBA can help you complete the necessary forms and applications that are required before you start your business. These services are free. You'll have to decide where you're going to work from. Working from the home is the choice of most startup video businesses. If you have a room that you can use as your studio, this is definitely the way to go. This keeps your overhead low, and you can write off a portion of your rent, your mortgage interest, and utilities at the end of the month. If you decide to rent a studio or office space, you'll have to make sure the building has an occupancy permit, meets Department of Labor and Industry fire and panic codes, and meets the zoning requirements. You'll need to secure insurance for your business. You'll need to insure your equipment against theft and damage, and you'll need liability insurance to protect yourself in the case that a client gets hurt while on your premises. Check with several insurance companies for the best coverage and premiums. Starting your own video production business can be very exciting and challenging. If you take the proper legal steps at the beginning, the road ahead will be a lot easier. The next subject we're going to look at is financing and startup capital, and this is one of the most important facets in any business. If you're just starting out, you'll need startup capital for equipment, office supplies, advertising, insurance, and payroll. You can determine exactly what you'll need by drawing up a business plan. Business plans are a wonderful tool for a business owner. In it, you'll need to lay out the reason you're in business, the goals that you have for your business, the sales potential of your business, where your customers will come from, your customer service policy, your advertising and promotional strategies, and exactly what equipment you'll need. Your accountant, SBA counselor, or loan representative can help you write your business plan. You'll refer to it often and use it as a personal business guide. It will be well worth the time that you spend on preparing it. Remember, it always takes more money than you first estimate to start a business. If you don't have startup cash or a loan from a family member, which most of us do not, then you'll have to consider borrowing. Business loans can be hard to get. The better your credit reference is, and the more prepared you are when applying for a loan, the better your chances are of receiving the amount that you'll need. Your accountant and bank representative can provide financial counseling, which can be very valuable in starting and managing your business. The Small Business Administration, through one of the small business development centers near you, has many management assistant programs. It also provides counseling and long-term management assistance. You may also qualify for a loan through the SBA. The SBA offers two basic types of business loans: guarantee loans, which are made by private lenders, usually banks, and guaranteed up to 90% by the SBA, and SBA direct loans, which have a maximum of $150,000 and are available only to applicants unable to secure a guarantee loan. You can find out more about these loan options by contacting the SBA. In addition to your business plan, there are 4 steps you should take to prepare yourself for applying for a business loan. First, you must prepare a current business balance sheet listing all assets, liabilities, and net worth. If you're a new business, you should also prepare an estimated balance sheet as the day of the business officially starts. The total amount that you have to invest must also be included. You'll have to prepare a personal income statement. If you have a new business, you should also prepare a detailed projection of earnings and expenses for at least the first year of operation. A monthly cash flow projection for the business is a good idea too. If you have an existing business, you should prepare an income statement for the current period and for the most recent 3 fiscal years. This statement should show profit and loss. List collateral to be offered as security for the loan, along with the current market value of each item. You must also list any existing liens. State the amount of loan requested and how the loan will be used. Once you've compiled all this information, take this material to your lender. Be sure to determine what kind of loan that you will need. There are several kinds of monies to be borrowed. Most startup video production businesses will need to secure a working capital term loan. This type of loan provides money you can pay back over a fairly long period of time. Working capital loans generally have maturities of 5 to 7 years. The maximum is 25 years. Be sure to obtain the lowest interest rates for the shortest period of time. These loans are usually granted on a secured basis. That is, you'll have to offer something as collateral. You may choose to apply for a short-term loan. Short-term loans are offered up to a 6-month period. They're usually used for inventory and financing accounts on a very short-term basis. No matter what kind of loan you're going for, be sure you're well prepared before you approach your lender. Be sure that your figures are accurate and presented neatly. A typewritten packet makes a more professional, positive impression than several loose sheets of handwritten tablet paper. Once your loan has been secured, you can begin purchasing the items that you need. This is the first place where money management will come into play. Be sure that you stay with your business plan and purchase only those items on your original list of materials needed that you presented to your lender. The bank may ask for proof of purchase for the equipment and materials that you buy. Keep records of all your purchases and expenses. You can write many of them off at the end of the year. Now let's talk about record keeping, forms, and contracts, and how you'll need to use them in your business. It's been proven that an adequate record-keeping system helps to increase the chances of survival for a small business. By initiating a good record-keeping system, you'll be able to answer questions such as, how much business am I doing? How much is tied up in receivables? How are my collections? Who owes me money? Who is delinquent and by how long? How much cash do I have on hand and in the bank? How much do I owe my creditors? How much gross profit did I earn? And how much net profit did I earn? A good record-keeping system should be simple to use, easy to understand, accurate, and designed to provide information on a timely basis. Most office supply stores carry a variety of systems that would suit a video production business. It's a good idea to go over your record-keeping system with your accountant so that you both understand how you'll be keeping the records. He can also advise you in the easiest way of keeping records on a daily, quarterly, and fiscal basis. It is most important to keep daily records of income and expenses. You should log this information into your books each day. Also pay close attention to your state sales tax. You'll have to submit a payment to your State Department of Revenue quarterly. You should also keep a more complete account of each customer in individual files for easy recall. All of this information is very important to filing with the IRS at the end of each year. You must also keep this information on file for 5 years in the case of an IRS audit. You should also keep records of all expense receipts. You'll need these at the end of the year as well. If you're a very small business, you can buy generic invoice forms, receipts, number 10 business size envelopes, and 8.5 by 11 paper at an office supply store. Buy the invoice forms that come in duplicate or triplicate. This way, when you bill a customer, keep one as a record and send the other 2 to the customer, who will keep one and return the other with his payment. If you have a little more capital to work with, you should consider investing in printed letterhead, envelopes, business cards, invoices, return envelopes, and contract forms. You can have these items printed for you in your area or can order them by mail. An excellent source for ordering forms and contracts is through a company called Rapid Forms. Call them at 800-257-8354 and they'll send you a catalog at no charge. They offer a complete line of business forms, packing materials, and stationery. Another very useful form to have is a video contract. A company called NEBS has them. It's product number 134-3 and comes in carbonless triplicate form with your business name, address, phone, and logo printed at the top. They cost around $40 for 100. We use them for all types of video jobs. You can also put together your own forms by typing an original and having copies made. We do this with some items such as quote forms and proposals. We recommend that you have letterhead, business envelopes, and business cards done as professionally as possible as soon as you can afford to do so. Well-designed business stationery can make even the smallest of businesses look like $1 million. You can expect to spend around $225 for 500 business cards and 1,000 letterhead with envelopes. This is for one color ink. Of course, you may spend a little less, and you could spend a whole lot more, depending on how fancy you want to get. You can even defray the cost by half and launch into another side of the business at the same time, but you'll have to wait until we get to the piggyback opportunities section of this tape to find out how. Right now, however, we're going to talk about advertising and marketing and how to use them in your business. Before you advertise, you'll have to determine your market, which will require some research on your part. Marketing research, simply defined, is an orderly, objective way of learning about people. You have to find out what captures a person's attention by observing their actions and drawing conclusions for what you see. To be successful in your business, you'll have to find out the answers to these questions. Can and will they buy? Am I offering the kinds of products or services that they want? Are my prices consistent with what buyers view as the product's value? Are my promotional programs working? What is the image of my business? And how does my business and services compare with my competitors? Marketing research deals with people and their constantly changing needs and desires, likes and dislikes. What people want can be influenced by numerous causes, and sometimes it's almost impossible to determine just what will make someone take the bait. To gather facts as objectively and orderly as possible and to assess those findings, the Small Business Administration can help you. They have a very useful booklet available for $1 entitled Researching Your Market. That's number 4.019. This book outlines the proper steps you should take in conducting a market research for your business. Your Chamber of Commerce can provide you with local information, and you can write to the United States Department of Commerce, Domestic and International Business Administration in Washington, D.C., 20230 to obtain copies of the following publications: the County and City Data Book, Measuring Markets, Selected Publications to Aid Business and Industry, Statistics of Income, and State Statistical Abstract. The Bureau of the Census, Department of Commerce, Washington, D.C., 20233 offers the following publications: the Catalog of U.S. Census Publications, Census of Business, Census of Selected Services, Census of Population, County Business Patterns, State and Metropolitan Data Book, County and City Data Book. There are hundreds of books and publications on marketing and marketing research available out there. Many of these can be found at your local public library. You'll also find at your library a publication which lists periodicals entitled N.W. Ayer and Sons Directory of Newspapers and Periodicals, and a publication called Business Rates and Data. Take some time to research your market before you decide exactly what kind of video production you'll gear your business towards. Talk to business people, potential customers, and competitors in your market area. You'll be glad you spent the time to do so. Now that you have researched your market and determined who your potential customers are, it's time to get down to the business of marketing to those customers. There are hundreds of books on the market about marketing and just as many theories on how to go about it. To simplify the word marketing, remember that a market is a specific group of buyers, and marketing is the ways you sell your product and services to those groups of buyers. Modern marketing programs are built around something called the marketing concept, and this concept directs business owners to focus their efforts on identifying, satisfying, and following up the customer's needs. The trick is to do this while at the same time making a profit. The marketing concept rests on the value of customers to a business and stresses that all business activity should be aimed at satisfying customer needs. Profitable sales volume is better than maximum sales volume. To use this marketing concept, a small business should determine the needs of their customers with market research, analyze their competitive advantages through market strategy, select specific markets to serve by target marketing, determine how to satisfy those needs with a market mix. We addressed market research earlier. Market strategy is the next step. It has to do with identifying specific customer groups called target markets. By evaluating the products and services being offered in your marketplace, you'll discover customers' needs which are not being met. You should then focus on supplying those needs towards this target market. This is called market strategy. You'll soon realize that as a small business, you cannot do it all. You'll find early on that you cannot compete in every area of video production. If you try to, you'll find yourself jumping around from job to job with no focus or direction, no set goals, and no predictable cash flow. It's best to find a niche or two, to concentrate your marketing efforts on one or a few specific market segments. This is the basis of target marketing. You can segment a market in two ways: by geographical segmentation, which is specializing in serving the needs of customers in a particular geographical area, or by customer segmentation, where you identify and promote your products and services to those groups of people who are most likely to buy them. Now that you've determined the customer's needs through market research, analyzed the competition by market strategy, and selected specific markets to serve through target marketing, you'll need to determine how to satisfy those needs through something called Market mix. The term marketing mix is used to describe how you'll combine 4 key marketing decision areas in a marketing program. These are products and services, promotion, distribution, and pricing. Once you've determined the types of video production you'll be involved in and decided on what other products you will sell, you'll have to find ways to promote them. This is done through advertising and other promotional activities. We'll be getting into advertising a bit later. Unless you are selling any retail items like videotapes, you'll not have to worry about distribution. If you're thinking about producing instructional videos for the home market, you might want to get our video on that subject. It goes into distribution and mail order advertising. Pricing is a very tricky subject. Determining your pricing levels is a major factor affecting your total revenue. Higher prices generally mean lower volume, but small businesses can usually charge higher prices because of the personalized service that they offer. Check your competition rates. Don't be timid. Call and ask them what they're charging. You don't want to underprice your services any more than you want to overprice. And if you do charge more than the competitors, be prepared to explain to your customers and potential customers what the advantages are to them if they deal with you. If you pay careful attention to the marketing mix, you'll have the areas that are crucial to your business's success covered. The Small Business Administration has a publication entitled Marketing Checklist for Small Retailers, that's number 4.012, which will help you answer questions you may have regarding all aspects of marketing. It costs only $1 and is available at any SBA office. We're now going to talk about advertising your video production business. When we started out several years ago, we tried all kinds of advertising, all at random with no set goals or expectations. I think we were testing the forms of advertising for ourselves to see just what would work. We tried some radio, we tried some newspaper, we tried television. No big response from any of them. We did mailings to as many businesses as we could get addresses for, and still nothing. We then realized that what we were selling, video production, is a very specialized service. It's not something like groceries, automobiles, or department store goods. We were trying to advertise as though it were. We found that we made our best contacts by just talking to people. We also found that video production is not something that people have a need for on a daily basis. When they do need it, they will look for it in the telephone directory, most often in the yellow pages. So take out a listing, 4 to 10 lines if you can afford it. Include everything that is important for the potential customer to know about your business. You don't have to get fancy or spend a lot of extra money using extra colors and extravagant graphics. Look at what the other video production companies are saying in their ads and make yours better. Check the phone directories from other cities and find an ad or a combination of ads that appeal to you. Here's a look at what our ad looks like in our local yellow pages. It's a good idea to include your name also, so that when someone calls, they have a real person to ask for. You'll find that the telephone directory is your best form of advertising next to word of mouth and one-on-one contact. Look for promotional opportunities in different types of activities. If you're doing wedding videos and there's a bridal fair in your area, become an exhibitor. This type of person-to-person contact with the public will really pay off in the future. We also found that those television commercials and radio ads tend to pay off later down the road. You don't get an immediate response from them, but sometimes months later, someone will run into you and say, "Gee, I saw your ad on television," or "I heard your ad on the radio, and it made me think about your business." So sometimes these forms of advertising also have their place. As far as newspaper advertising goes, if you're a new business, contact the paper to see if they'll do a story on you in the business section of the paper. Most papers have a section like this at least once a week. You won't have to pay for advertising like this since it's a story, and the response will be greater than if you had placed an ad. Here's a quick look at one of our television commercials. Productions is your full-service video and print production house. Producing promotional videos and brochures is our specialty. From graphic design and layout to commercial still photography, we'll give your brochure or newsletter the professional edge. Your video will have that network quality look made possible by our state-of-the-art editing and computer graphics system. For dynamic videos and brochures, call Vivicon Productions of Duncansville at 695-4325. Another invaluable promotional tool for those in the video business is to make smoke and demo reels that capitalize on your market niche. A computerized graphic art studio rounds out our capabilities and enables us to produce printed documents in-house with typeset quality. At Vivicon Productions, we take pride in doing things in-house so that we can give you personalized service every step of the way. Another thing you may want to do is join a business club. The Chamber of Commerce is a very good organization to belong to, as are civic organizations such as Rotary, Kiwanis, and Lions. These clubs provide a perfect setting for you to network with business people in your community. You may even ask to speak at one of their meetings. What a great way to tell these people about yourself and your business. If you're venturing outside your community to market your services and products, say through mail order, then your advertising approach is going to have to be very different. You'll have to research the monthly magazines and trade publications on the topic you're trying to sell. A small ad in one of these magazines can range from a few hundred to several $1,000s for a one-time run. Call each magazine and ask for an ad package. They'll send you information on demographics, rates, and ad sizes. They'll usually throw in the latest issue of the magazine as well. Scour each magazine thoroughly and look at what other advertisers are doing. If you want to know what kind of response they're having, give them a call. Test market your ad in the magazine. Usually, a magazine will have a special shoppers section for mail order items. Try these ads first. Usually, it takes a couple of runs before you see much of a return. Ask the people who responded some questions. Ask them if they liked the ad, what prompted them to call, and how the ad could have been done better. Advertising is very crucial to your business, but don't go overboard, especially at first when you don't have the money. Don't throw your money away on things with your name on it like t-shirts, coffee cups, and pencils. They cost a lot and reach so very few people. You may want to invest in a couple of magnetic signs to put on your car. It's a good form of advertising. They are inexpensive and are not as permanent as painting the name of your business on your vehicle. Now we're going to talk a little bit about equipment. You can get by on some very basic pieces of business equipment when you first start out, but as you grow, so will your needs for equipment. First, you'll need a good calculator. Select a kind that gives you a printout. You can find a variety of calculators at any department store or office supply store. They'll range from a price of $25 up to $200. Next, you should invest in a decent typewriter. A small electronic typewriter, such as this Smith Corona, costs about $150. You'll need a typewriter to write proposals and contracts, as well as invoices and address letters. You'll eventually need a personal copier, such as this Canon NP1020. You'll find it invaluable to your business. We use ours for a number of different things, including flyers and video sleeve inserts like this one on this videotape. A copy machine can run from $700 up. We bought a fax machine about a year ago and now wonder how we ever survived without one. A fax machine can run from $500 up. You can buy them just about anywhere that sells telephones. We bought ours at a Sears store. If you have a computer or word processor, you can do away with the typewriter. Computers are wonderful as a tool in business. We use ours every day. There are so many software programs available that you can use your computer in virtually every phase of your video business. We use a Macintosh SE30 and a laser printer for print applications. But we also have an Amiga 2000 HD that we use in video production in our studio. If you plan on getting an Amiga, you can get business software programs for it along with a printer, which will allow you to use it for everything. If you plan on selling a product such as tutorial videos for the home market, then you'll want to get a credit card machine. You take customers' credit card numbers over the phone and punch it in on the keypad, and it's transferred directly to your bank account. It will also show if the person is overdrawn on his credit. You can then call them back to obtain another method of payment. The bank charges roughly 3% on each transaction, and there is about a $30 per month rental fee on the equipment. The printer gives you two identical receipts, one for your customer and one for your records. Each day you'll do a settlement which gives you the total for that day. The process is very easy, and it's a very convenient way for the customer to order. It definitely will increase the amount of business you'll receive. Sometimes when we go into business, we tend to view the business in a single dimension. In doing so, we miss out on other business opportunities that are waiting to be ours. We call these possibilities piggybacking or piggyback opportunities. They're services that go hand in hand with services that are already being provided. An example of this is wedding invitations and accessories. If you're a wedding videographer, why not make a few $100s more by selling the couple their invitations and programs? Even items like toasting glasses, cake tops, and decorations can be yours to sell without making an investment in inventory. How? You become a dealer for a company or companies that sell these items. They provide you with a catalog such as these that have a large selection of everything the couple will need. It's very easy to do. Everything is in the catalog. The couple chooses the type, style, and ink color from a selection offered. All you have to do is fill out the mail order form and send it to the company. The best part is that you'll make 40 to 50% of the total cost. And that can mean hundreds of dollars or more for you. Since the couple has to have these items anyway, they might as well get them from you, right? Well, we'll give you a couple of names and phone numbers that you might call if you're interested in providing these piggyback services. Just call them and tell them you would like them to send you information on becoming a dealer. For Regency Company, call 1-800-876-4040 and Carlson Craft 1-800-328-1782. These companies also offer business stationery lines. You can sell letterhead, envelopes, business cards, presentation folders, and other printed business items at the same high profit margin as the wedding materials. If you're doing industrial or promotional videos, why not try to sell the company on a complete corporate image package and make a lot of extra money as well? If you decide to sell business cards and stationery, you can buy your materials for your own business at half the price. What a bonus. Whatever your service is, you should always look for ways to make extra money by piggybacking. We hope this video helps you to become a wonderfully savvy business person in your video business. There is nothing like being in business for yourself. It's challenging, exciting, and the opportunities and possibilities are endless. If you pay as much attention to the business end of your video business as you do to the production end, you'll surely succeed. Thank you and good luck in your business.